Alexander the Great died at 32. Historians still argue over why. Poison, fever, grief, or simply years of wounds catching up. But here is what nobody argues about. He had a plan. A plan so vast, so deliberately structured, that if he had lived just 38 more years to complete it, the world we live in today would not exist. Not slightly different, not marginally altered, completely unrecognizable. In the next 8 minutes, you're going to find out exactly what Alexander was planning, the campaigns he never launched, the empire he was building, not just conquering, and why most historians believe his survival to old age would have compressed 1,500 years of world history into a single lifetime. By the end of this video, you will not just understand Alexander, you will understand how fragile history really is. Most people think of Alexander as a conqueror, a man who charged into battle and carved an empire by force. That is only half the story. Because before he was a king, Alexander was a student. For 3 years he studied under Aristotle, not just philosophy, but politics, science, logic, ethics. Aristotle didn't train him to win battles. He trained him to build systems, systems that outlast rulers. And Alexander listened. He didn't just want to conquer the world, he wanted to redesign it. This is where most people misunderstand him. Alexander's goal was not destruction, it was integration. He wanted to Hellenize the world. Hellenization was not forced cultural replacement, it was fusion. Greek language with Persian administration, Egyptian knowledge with Greek science, local traditions blended into a larger system. Everywhere he went, he didn't just rule, he merged. He adopted Persian royal customs, he wore their clothing. He expected his generals to marry into local nobility, not as a symbol, but as policy. Because unity was not something he wanted to enforce, it was something he wanted to engineer. He founded over 70 cities, most named Alexandria. But these weren't just cities, they were nodes, centers of learning, trade hubs, cultural bridges, each one designed to spread knowledge across the empire. This was not an empire built on conquest, it was a civilization under construction. And at 32, when the fever took him in Babylon, he had already conquered an empire stretching from Greece to the borders of India, 5.2 million square kilometers. But he was not slowing down, he was accelerating. Even in his final days, his generals reported that Alexander was planning his next campaigns. Not 1, 3. And this is where history breaks, because we know exactly what he planned to do next. His campaign plans were recorded by his historian Diodorus Siculus and read aloud after his death. And when his generals heard them, they didn't continue them. They abandoned every single one. Not because they were impossible, but because they were too ambitious, too big for anyone except Alexander. First, Arabia. Alexander had already assembled a fleet of 1,000 ships. His goal was not just conquest, but control of trade. He planned to circumnavigate the Arabian Peninsula and establish a direct maritime route between Egypt and India, a controlled trade network linking the Mediterranean to the east. In our timeline, this doesn't happen until 1598 AD with Vasco da Gama. Alexander planned to do it in 322 BC. That is an 1,800-year acceleration of global trade. Second, the Western Mediterranean. After Arabia, Alexander turns west, Carthage, North Africa, Spain, and eventually the edge of the known world, the Atlantic. But standing in his way is something small, something not yet powerful, a republic on the Italian peninsula, Rome. In 322 BC, Rome is not an empire. It is a recovering city-state, recently weakened, still developing its military system. And it is about to face the most effective army in human history. Alexander doesn't just defeat Rome, he absorbs it. Rome does not rise. It never becomes the empire that shapes Western civilization. No Roman legal system as we know it. No Senate evolving into a model of governance. No foundation for modern European states.
Instead, Rome becomes another node in a much larger system, a Hellenistic world-state, a single civilization stretching from the Atlantic to India, speaking Greek, sharing knowledge, operating under a unified administrative philosophy. And this is where the consequences become almost impossible to comprehend. Because when you remove fragmentation, you remove stagnation. In our timeline, knowledge is constantly lost. Empires fall, libraries burn, systems reset. Progress stops, then restarts, then stops again. But in Alexander's world, that never happens. Knowledge compounds, continuously, for centuries. The Library of Alexandria does not stand alone. It is one of many, dozens of centers of learning across the empire. Discoveries don't sit in one place. They spread immediately. Mathematics evolves faster. Engineering advances sooner. Ideas don't wait generations to travel. They move instantly across a connected world. And that changes everything, because innovation is not about intelligence, it's about continuity. In this world, someone like Archimedes is not working in isolation. His discoveries are scaled, expanded, improved in real time. And technologies that took us 2,000 years to develop arrive centuries earlier. But the most shocking consequence is not technological, it's cultural, and it's religious. Because in 323 BC, Christianity does not exist. Islam will not exist for nearly 1,000 years. These religions don't emerge in stable, unified systems. They emerge in fractured ones, in periods of uncertainty, collapse, search for meaning. In Alexander's world, those conditions don't exist, not in the same way. Instead, the dominant system is philosophical, derived from Greek thought, questioning, empirical, flexible, something closer to what we would call secular humanism, but embedded into everyday life. And that means something extraordinary. 2,000 years of religious conflict never happens. No crusades, no inquisition, no centuries of ideological war shaping continents. History doesn't just change, it stabilizes. And when history stabilizes, progress accelerates. The world that exists in 2026 in this timeline is not just more advanced, it is fundamentally different, more connected, more unified, built on uninterrupted intellectual growth for over 2 millennia. A civilization that never had to rebuild itself, only improve. And all of it, every part of it, comes down to a single moment. A fever in Babylon, a 32-year-old king, a life cut short, or maybe poisoned. We still don't know. But we do know this: 38 more years. That is all it would have taken. The thing about Alexander is that he understood something most rulers never do. Conquest is temporary. Culture is permanent. His empire collapsed within a generation, but his ideas survived. They shaped Rome, they shaped the Islamic Golden Age, they shaped the Renaissance. He lost the empire, but he changed the world anyway. Now imagine what he would have done if he had time. Subscribe. New alternate history video every day. Next, what if the Mongols conquered Europe? The answer is not what you expect.